This is the Fastigium of Constantine. This does not survive today. There's a possibility that the church where this was originally housed still has some element of this present, but certainly the images up above, they're not there. So how do we know about it? The Liber Pontificalis, the book of the Roman pontiffs, records a donation made by St. Constantine the Great to the Church of Rome. And the details are frankly kind of shocking. This would have had to have been made around the year 313 AD. It's a pre-Nicene thing. The images embedded into this partition, this fastigium, and a fastigium is normally kind of like it's kind of like this sort of triangular shaped frame type thing supported by columns. It's often the end of like a Roman building. It could be like the kind of front end, the outside end of like a Greek or Roman temple or whatever. And you could have your image of like a god up there or an emperor or whatever. But this fastigium, the images contained in it are as follows. There's 13 images that face outwards towards the congregation, the 12 apostles and Christ as teacher. And they're composed out of silver. There's 5 images that face inward towards the altar. There's Christ in the center again, and 4 angels, all composed out of silver. So these are probably single cast images that would have been basically made out of one material. It's possible that they were freestanding sculpture. It's also possible that they were reliefs that were embedded into like a wall that's, in the fastigium. We don't know exactly, but regardless.
Yeah, when you study art history or church history, you see all those kinds of different examples.
I don't think there's any question that like when you look at this, it does make you think a little bit of the iconostasis, like this idea of a sacred partition that has these images of holy figures, revered figures, and the structure even is similar. And we're still seeing that, the 4-cornered aspect, the sacred dome, all of that seems to be here as well in this early structure that was donated by St. Constantine to the Church of Rome. It really does seem to work as a kind of prototype, a distant prototype of the iconostasis.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have all these kind of like early forms, like the Templon, rail. I mean, there's all different kinds of forms separating these spaces. I've never really studied this one. This is all new to me, really. I haven't dug into this. This is pretty cool.
And I think that there's a good argument that can be made for a connection between these images and some of the statements made by St. Methodius of Olympus in his Discourse on the Resurrection, where he talks about images of God's angels made out of gold. There seems to be this idea of honorable materials that you use to make images of Christ, the apostles, or angels. And these may be the first images of angels made of like a kind of relief or sculpture type style that Christianity ever had. Or we don't know that for sure. It could have been that there were prototypes earlier, but a lot of the images of angels from the catacombs, they definitely don't draw attention to the angels in the same way. They're more presented in like human form and stuff like that. So this is a fascinating precedent, an early precedent for a holy partition with holy images on it.
The theme of the whole Bible is the divine indwelling of the world. That's why the Bible and Orthodox tradition are on exactly the same page. At the center of our faith is the transfiguration of human beings in the whole creation by the divine glory. The incarnation is thus nested in the center of Scripture. Scripture, the prophets talk about God coming in person. He's going to come. He's going to come more fully than he's ever come before. And then he steps into the world as this Galilean Jew, born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth. That's the most intimate relation that God can possibly appropriate to the world, and it happens in the person of Jesus.
The Wise Phone 2, which I currently use as my phone. It's an amazing phone that helps you not doom scroll or be addicted to social media and other vices because it doesn't have a web browser, but it does function like a phone. You can call, you can text, you can take pictures, you can do videos. It even has apps like Uber and Lyft. You can order food, maps to get around town, all the things that you kind of need in this modern life. While at the same time, being able to have a boundary between you and work or you and distractions. So you can be more present with your family, with your kids, with your spouse, whomever. This has been a very freeing experience for me to have the Wise Phone 2. Again, you can get $40 off through my discount code KING today.